So these are the dangers that they're playing with. So what we're saying to you is, if you follow the health regime, and as I said to you ladies, the challenge was, if you're overweight and you want to get pregnant, or you got scaly skin or whatever, you do what Ash tells you to do, and the women become fertile again, the men become fertile again, and that is coconut oil to cook with, the cleanest possible water. And even if you have to buy the water from Safeway or somewhere and put it through your evaporator, the evaporator is going to be the best thing you can get. Now, what that'll also tell you, if you put various waters that you are buying through it, it'll tell you if there's anything in it, because it boils it out. And the residue is the little flakes of fluoride or whatever. There is suspicions that they put fluoride in the bottled water. Everyone's on the health kick, right? They put the fluoride in the bottled water. So what we was using there for a while, we determined that it was best to get the soda water. Right? Any particular reason?
Soda water?
Yeah. The bubbly soda water.
Oh, well, yeah, it has carbon dioxide in it, which transfers oxygen to yourself, so it's... Right. Even soda water on its own is better than...
Yeah, the basic challenge is, if anyone comes along and does that for you and also gives you immortality, it must be God. Right? Whoever gives you that, that must be God doing, because no one else will fucking do it. All the technology is there right now. So I was saying that the chemtrails and the stuff that's coming in through your taps, that's their food in India. The best thing to do is get seawater and boil it through $160 or whatever from China. I've seen them as low as 110. Same bloody things we got, as a matter of fact. And your skin will clear up. You'll become fertile again. If you want to have babies, you can do that, and you'll be able to do all sorts of marvelous things. And that's what you would expect God to do, right? Now, you might not like me.
How could anybody not like that? They're glorious. You want to hear something awesome?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the lead balloon went over with Claudia, you know, about the plan.
Yeah.
He said she was better after it had sunk in, like I said, and kind of slapped her around, well, you know, just verbally telling her. Anyway, he just left a message that the angels got rid of her job. I said, what happened? Listen, her dad ended up spitting in the face of his ski-doo partner. Remember, it was his dad's partner?
He spat in his face.
Spat in his face. Because the partner was blaming Claudia and Tuska, that's his sister. And he's got a weird misspelled, and hurt for his mishaps. He broke the ski-doo and blamed Claudia. Her dad's a fucking mechanic and told her how to use the machine, and he is anal and knows his children are smarter than the dumb C-U-N-T. Also, dumb not of a tree. Also, he is a drunk who is never at work. So Claudia's dad did want to hit him, but the guy would have gone to the cops. So he spat on him, hitting his face, eyes, nose, lips. Ha ha ha, job terminated. I said, awesome. He says, would have been stuck there till the end of September.
So now she's coming back.
Well, let's see.
But we can afford that.
Hmm?
We can afford that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the Claudia update. Claudia was a Christmas present. What had happened was Adam had joined us after his mother and himself was thrown out by his grandmother for associating with me.
Oh, no.
Because I just uploaded all the nasties about the family.
He wasn't thrown out, I was. He had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
stay.
Right.
But he chose to go with his mother.
Well, of course. That's the whole bloody point, isn't it?
Let's stick to the facts.
So we're curing and taking all the cures for the H1N1 to the Aboriginals up as far as Uradumu, where there was one reported case there. When we get there, looking for the old lady who owned the store, there was this big fat federal copper and his wife, or associate, posing as the owners. Tell us they've been there for a long time. Ash had met a man the day before who had been up the day before to Uradumu, and the only white person in the area is this lady that owns the Uradumu store. Now, I would say any of you could now contact that lady, and she's got the local grocery store and a fuel store and a tyre shop and all that. And she helped him with the flat tyre. So he said that since we were going up there, would we pass on a message to thank her very much for her helping him the day before with the flat tyre. So we went into the shop to look for it. And in there is these two federal coppers, and they've been there for a long time. They own it, and they're man and wife, and there's nothing wrong with the people here. Everything's fine. We had a report that one man had died in Uradumu, and that's why we went there. And they didn't look too healthy to me. But I did show them out. I left a case of colloidal silver bottles with all the Aboriginal, or original people, they like to be called, which they are. Lovely people too. Great natures. So from that, of course, we get to Ayers Rock. And Ayers Rock, we want to go and see the elders at Ayers Rock, and we've got to get a permit from the health department to go see them. Oh, wait a minute. Is this a concentration camp or what? So on the outskirts of Alice Springs, we stormed the places. We just went straight in. Right? Got a four-wheel drive. And back on the trailer, it was carrying these big kegs of colloidal silver facilities and so forth. Brochures and you name it. Got signs on it. And the signs are saying that H1N1, we can cure it, blah, 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 who we are, Jesus is back, but it goes on further. So it was soon picked up by the cops, and the cops, of course, very reluctant to talk to Asherah, but circumstances caused Adam to be flaked out in the front of the car inside this Aboriginal area, and the cops show up and want to know what's going on. So then Ash launches and I take a film of it, right? And the guy says, just a short version. That's an indication that they've heard it all before. So we had already, our coming to the area had already been on the radar. We also went into a cop shop and wanted to lay a charge against the Queen for genocide. And then all sorts of fun and games came out of that. Point being that Adam had tagged his code sign all over Alice Springs. No matter where you go in Alice Springs now, you'll find the repeated tag sign of Adam. Right? So you just search that out, and it'll have all sorts of meanings. And of course, he spoke to the Aboriginal kids up there as well, and in the skate parks, trying to buy dope and so forth. A funny thing happened when we had to leave. He had some dope lined up, but we had to leave. So he's panicking. He's got no dope. And I said, "Don't worry, I'll work a miracle. We'll get you some dope." So, oh yeah, doesn't really go along with that, but he sort of has to, because he's admitted he does believe on Christ. So there is that doubt when you're needing something like dope, maybe you ain't fucking good after all, right? So I said, don't worry about it. So as soon as we get to this place we're going to, pull in, and Tracy comes rushing up, a lady that we just met, and invites us over to have some refreshments, cup of tea and all that. And this fellow walks over to Adam, her husband, and takes him over to the tent and shows him about 50 pounds of dope, see? And Adam's rolling in it like a dog in shit. So there's a miracle right before your eyes. So little things like that were slowly convincing. It's one thing to say you believe. Another thing is to actually experience a miracle. And this is what I do for a living. I've got a track record, right? So what we've done is showed the Iranians how to do it. And they're doing it. Now, they've had an instance that's been on the news where there was a US carrier approaching strike distance to Iran. And it was suddenly surrounded by a swarm of these fast-moving boats. Right. And then they vanished. So in other words, they have either developed technology to project holograms, therefore all you need is one boat, armed to the teeth, and have 500 other ones which all appear to be the same. That's what they can do. They can do it with planes, they can do it with tanks. So it's simple. And of course, I like the way the family structure and their obedience to the laws, their love of God, and irregardless of what God is talking to them, they've always done what God said. They've got a track record, 5,000 years or so. So you go through the Persian history and you'll find that they've never done anything that is against what God says to do. And that's why they don't have atomic weapons. You don't need atomic weapons. They're a waste of bloody time. Right. You might as well build for the same money 6,000 small rockets that'll carry 1,000 pounds of tranquilizer. Just drop them on Jerusalem and Israel, knock everybody out, and parachute in. Not that hard, is it? Go. And liberate Palestine.